Welcome back, my lover of wisdom. Now, what's the oldest story? What is the oldest living tale that we have from ancient Greece? Can you think for a moment back to your classics or your history class? Yes, it's the Odyssey. The Iliad and the Odyssey, told by Homer. And what this story is the story of a sailor setting out on a journey towards his dream, his goal, his Ithaca. But what does this story have to do with you and me? The story of the Odyssey represents the story, our story, each of our stories. The first thing of the Odyssey is telling us is find and define a clear dream for yourself. What would it be if you knew that no matter what, you will actually achieve that goal? What is that goal worth going through everything for? Okay, so now we go to the beginning of your journey, where you are right now in your life. You will have to leave your comfort zone. I think it was Einstein who said that the definition of madness is to believe that you can have different results while pursuing the same strategy. Okay, we know that you have to leave your comfort zone, and we know that you have to choose a goal that's worth fighting for. Okay, now what about the in-between stuff? All sorts of things are going to be hurled in your direction. Now, as long as you know that the real game is on the inside and not on the outside, you will be safe. And that's why Socrates, what did he say? What's he most famous for saying? He's most famous for saying, basically reiterating the motto of Delphi, which says, know thyself. Know yourself. If you know yourself and are open to learning about yourself, you can make it from where you are here to where you want to go. Nothing will touch you. You will be unshakable. So if you have this golden message in your mind as you're going from point A to point B, you will definitely make it. And the more you realize it, the sooner you realize it, the smoother will be your journey. So in other words, instead of fighting all the waves that are coming towards you, the obstacles on your own Odyssey, you will be able to surf those waves. There's a beautiful scene with Odysseus where they're going to go through part of the sea. There are beautiful nymphs, sea nymphs, that sing such a beautiful song that they lead you off your journey. You follow the song, you become enchanted by the song, you become intoxicated, enchanted by the song of the siren, and woo, they'll just pull you off your journey. And what did Odysseus do? He asked of his crew that they tie him up to a mast. And that tied up to the mast means self-leadership, because self-leadership is really the most important skill you can have. And this is why Socrates says that no man can lead others who cannot lead himself. This is why Plato, the student of Socrates, taught the greatest victory is the victory over yourself. You have your journey all set out for you, and there is nothing that can stop you, no matter what the things are that are coming in your way. I've done it myself, and I would like to share a little of my journey with you.
I was the daughter of immigrants, Greek immigrants, to Montreal. And my parents wanted to connect with my history and my heritage. So while other classmates were getting bedtime stories like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, my parents would read to me from the Iliad and the Odyssey, the Greek myths and Aesop's fables. Now, fast forward my life. I'm 22 years old. I've come back from London, where I studied international banking and finance, and I'm working in a big British bank. My career seems promising. I have a big office and a big paycheck. On the inside, though, I feel horrible and frustrated. Why? because I feel that my natural talents are not matched in the bank in this career. I'm a people's person, not a numbers person. And sometimes I tell my father about this, who was the CEO of a bank, and he would say, my dear daughter, he would tap me on the shoulder and say, dear daughter, life is very difficult. It's okay to read philosophy and psychology, but stick to your safe job and your paycheck. So what did I do? I carried on, and I felt like a hamster on a treadmill. I start to make mistakes at the bank because I'm unmotivated. And all these mistakes culminate into one big mistake, where I'm called in to do a presentation in front of the board of directors. Now, I do the presentation, but I feel terribly embarrassed. I didn't do a good job, not for my standards, not for the standards I know I can deliver. So at the end of that day, I face my biggest fears and I hand in my resignation. Now, did things go better after that? Of course not. They got a lot worse. First, I had a very big argument with my father, a dramatic Greek-style drama argument, where he said to me, "You're making a terrible mistake. You're going to live to regret it." He ousted me out of the house and said to me what amounts to an ancient motto the Spartans would say to the soldiers going off to war. Tan I epitas. In other words, come bearing your shield as a victor or dead on it. What did I do? I had no plan. I just took any savings I had and I just took off. I had a backpack and I started walking. I started backpacking through Asia Minor on my own. No plan at all. I continued trekking, joined up with other groups and ended up trekking through Europe. Eventually my money ran out. So I had to take a job. Any job would do. Low-paying jobs. I was waitressing. I was a sales girl. I saved my money and tried my own businesses, but they failed and left me without any money. This was terrible. I had to lower my head. I was ready to go back to my father. On the bus, going to buy my ticket, something very strange happened. I was sitting next to a lady on the bus, and she said to me that she had to leave her job. She was a management trainer. She was training executives in communication. And she said that she had a big problem because she had to replace herself at that job. I explained to her that I would be very happy to do that job, and we spoke, and basically she hired me on the bus. She said, "Show up tomorrow, you got the job." That's what I did. I showed up at this great management training company. I started giving classes with managers. My students said that I was really talented at what I was doing. I felt it was a great match for my talents. And what's even better is the founder of this company, he said that Aristotle and Socrates were the main inspiration for his seminars, that they were based on their teachings. So I had finally found my place in life.
So feel free to communicate with me and tell me your story. Where are you along your journey? Feel free to write in the comments, any comments that you want to talk about, any questions that you want to talk about in your journey. I'm open, I'm listening to your journey. It's very important to me because part of my journey is to help you along your journey and to inspire you on your journey.